new people, so you know.
No, you said you had
She said she was.
to pick that, right?
They was, so bad last time at the board, it's.
That's not something we can do, correct?
I don't think we're gonna move up. I think it's gonna get a little higher than what we do.
All right.
Let me know that.
The next item is acceptance of March and April meetings, minutes. Did everybody have a chance? To read minutes, are there any corrections or comments? We didn't approve March because we didn't have quorum, but now we should have, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people here today, so. Can I have a motion to accept the March and April minutes?
I second them.
I second. Okay, second. All in favor, say aye. Passed. Next is old business, following up on our communication with bank representatives. Mr. Jordan and I had a conference call with a woman from Chase. Her name was Samantha Dilly Bertie. She was very pleasant, very receptive, very willing to look into all our concerns, even to go up the ladder and have like the architect or whoever comes to Chase, see what can be made in terms of the layout of the branch to help seniors and to save them. Now, a couple of things that she did bring out. She said that on the 1st and the 3rd, Mr. Jordan, correct me, they do have an ADA window. That's by law. They have, everybody has to have an ADA accessible window.
Is it public?
Yes, there's, I mean, you have to strain to look, but there is a sign on the window. Yeah, there's a sign on the actual teller window. And I asked her, are you there every day? She said she's there every day, but she just has stepped out to get something to eat. So it seems like going forward, all the banks must have this ADA window. Whether they have a senior window, most of them do not have a specific window for senior. So we did bring that up. She recommended that on the 1st and the 3rd of the month, now I have no clue what's going on the 1st and the 3rd, you got it? Okay, they have more staff on. This is what she said to me about Chase. I don't know if it's true or not. You got, okay, so you go on the 1st or the 3rd and you see more staff? Oh, okay, so that's the point.
They can show it, Chase has been showing staff for me. They should show the staff for a minute. It's been like maybe 2 or 3 at the window. And they, a lot of people don't want to use the machines on the floor.
For what? Why?
So I don't know, some people just don't, they want to go up to the toilet. Right. And they do have people on the floor saying, come use these machines, come use these machines.
Right.
Right. So, but I haven't seen them run this staff in me.
Okay, well, that's what you told us.
If I can add to that, there are this. There are separate than ATM machines. There are machines in the
Inside.
inside the house, something like that, right?
Like inside the vestibule, but not inside the bench.
No, it is right?
Oh, it's inside the back.
Like if you don't want to stand them, you can use one of them machines. And you get it a decent amount of money if you don't want to stand. But I've never seen it up to 2 or 3 at the window. And it is very crowded on those days, and TV is the same way. They need to get better too, because they have a real long line, and they don't have nowhere, no kind of accessibility, because I went in there and I had a bad day. And she told me to go sit down. She knew what number I was on London, and she would call me when my space came up.
Oh, that was nice.
You forgot?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, it's fabulous.
You know, and then she said, okay. They came down here, they was at Fordham, they came down here, and they supposed to be so accommodating, but they have not been. They have not been.
We're talking about Chase,
TV and Chase.
TD and Chase.
They can do a whole lot better.
Clarissa, did you have here?
No,
Okay.
now the one all the way down by the bridge. They got a lot of staff.
The one past 138th Street.
Right.
Yeah, I've been there.
It's never crowded.
I don't have Chase, but I've been there with some.
Never crowded. That's why I go. It's always two or three.
But that's out of the way for you though. Period. Yeah.
Up here it's just.
All right, so we'll follow up with her about the staffing issue. But she made a point to tell us that those, because we said, is it possible to get a senior window certain hours of the day? And she said that that would pull someone away from the regular banking line. And especially on those days, the first and the third, her words, not ours.
I mean, you don't have. Accommodate that extra window, right? Particularly, you know that seniors get their money on those days.
I would like to see the ADA and senior combined, because I'm sure there's not that many ADA people going in, okay? So I would like to see that combined, and that's a suggestion that for them, okay? But then somebody has to monitor that. Okay, seniors, what, 62 plus, 50 plus, and then people are gonna try to bogart their way on the line, and they're already having security problems, which they, let us know that one time they had an issue and it took 2 hours for police to respond. And Mr. Lofton and I both said that's unacceptable, because there's supposed to be police right there in College. Where are they? You get a call from a bank, that should be a priority, because you don't know what's going on. Yeah, so that's something they said, that the police was not really responding, that they didn't know where the line was in terms of when they can report. For example, we have these people that stand at the door, just like I went to my bank right now, open the door for me. Hey, I'm 74, but I could still open the door, They're looking for money. But at the same time, it's a little scary, because you don't know why, if you don't give them some money, what are they gonna do? So that's a situation that he put up, and he doesn't know whether they have a right to report that. And I think Mr. Jordan said that anything to do with their building or the sidewalk up to the curb is their domain. Just like if I have a private house, up to the curb is my domain. I could get ticketed. Actually, I put some pictures to the curb. I can get ticketed.
But what about if someone tells it all? Because there's somebody when the lines are outside. But someone tells it all. So if you have people outside the door on wheelchairs and walking, don't you think that you can make an accommodation for them inside and get them over to a tell them
Yeah.
that they don't?
So this is something you've observed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. What's the bank down there past Citibank?
Popular? No,
Whatever past Citibank, that's where the lines most.
I don't know.
That's the bank in that bank. I don't even know.
Apple.
No. That's another because Apple, 161st Street.
No,
So you guys actually one on 149.
it's one more bank. I don't know.
It's not Citibank.
Bank of America.
The lines have, in the heat. That's what drew it to my attention in the heat. Okay, because they didn't have that big of vessels, you people sit down. But I was saying, well, let's just go in and sit down. So
I think we need to do a walkthrough for that and see.
Chase's lines go outside as well?
Ms. Goodwin says. First and third of the month, yeah, that's when they said they put on staff.
I've also seen.
Chair conversation. It was a great conversation, but it was a very stimulating, strong conversation. And looking forward. And she seemed like the chair said, very open to it, to our concerns. And that even to enough that they agreed to have, and I don't know if the chair wanted to add this, extra security staff there to the branch. Okay, the chair. So the meaning they're gonna add a security person who's going to be specifically dedicated to the ATM area. And someone's gonna be dedicated to the inside area, just to make sure that any of the folks who are non-customer related folks, the request will not be derelict, hanging out in the ATM area while you as a customer are conducting your business. That was a concern. Also, why we have sanitation and related issues and so on. In addition to that, like the chair mentioned, that where not only were they concerned about the 2 hour, we had a very like that was to me boggling, mind boggling that 2 hours response in May. But that police were gonna get police to also agree to while they're doing their evening tours to make sure that no one is camping out or camping inside the ATM or doing the banking doors. So folks don't feel like you can go in there and use the ATM machine because somebody's hanging out in the banker. In addition to the maintenance issues, in addition to just the general upkeep of the space. And then like the chair mentioned lastly is that you are responsible from who open if someone opens your door to be likely panhandling or a heavy panhandling for to move them along. And if they're becoming encouraged, the concern that they had was that the security personnel was assaulted by someone when they tried to escort them outside of the ATM area. As Fred said, so you don't have a right to me. Our we want the community organ involved. We want our constituents and you experience going to the bank should because anyway does not use check cash places. We want to stop that. Check cash places because the enormous people that, and we want to make sure that the seniors are. We also want to investigate more about if there are products that the bank could be advertising the stamps. First, tickets on is that they got pet project. See how are we providing products that seniors can be able. And like you, I know you brought this up as your issue when we originated, when we started this thing to make sure that there are products that were friendly here to seniors. I push back on this. I believe I've come from as a young boy growing up in the South Bronx here in Mount Haven. Yeah, I take my nana to the bank, and I remember someone with arthritis or walkers setting those lines. It's horrific, and pain and condition. Just to make sure you get your money ordered, your checks to take care of your bills. Right, all the time. That bank, yes, I don't, yes.
Like you said, hoping one looks like they need to set a case.
And to the- help you.
Oh, that's
And I see it.
like a greeter.
Yeah. But just keep in mind, we have 7 to 8 banks on 149 for a reason. The money is here. So you need to accommodate the community. Ongoing issue. I've met with them banks for years. When we have, I was the chairperson of Lincoln for the gallows that I did yearly. I raised 68,000 dollars. The banks very rarely give money. They very rarely give money to communities.
It really, that's that.
Anything. If you ask them, well, how do you support the community?
They don't.
Come on there when you go in there and ask them a question. Okay, I didn't generate my money from those banks. I generated my money from other facilities. Other health care. Now, the bank on across the street from TV, they would give a donation from time to time, and when Carmen, they was on this board, people in Chase, but it wasn't Chase, it was the workers that support and bought tickets, not Chase itself. We having a little.
Is that the same for all the banks or just Chase that you know of?
No, all of them. I went to all of them. I used to walk you through. I wasn't a telephone person. I'm still on those two. I'm still the vice chair. But we haven't been raising money.
Well, that's something that we can possibly down the line look into. Because as you understand, it's so busy, the banks are taking our community's money, they need to give back. And I know Chase is known for doing stuff in the community, buildings and whatever. I know the building across the street from me, part of it was Chase sponsored, as well as the building. But these are not things that we're seeing on an everyday day, we need to see.
Presence. Chair will be talking to our with Congressman. It's quite, yeah. Torres, AOC, and other projects that we look at on the federal level, the banks that you said.
No.
Right, right, but I'm talking about who regulates banks at the federal level, like what you're saying. Sure,
Like they were doing.
They don't tend to.
right. Community reinvestment, Act. So that's, the banks have all responsibility, so we're talking about that, and that's something that we can talk about more to the, with the end.
There was a, Herman, did you have a hand up? Only.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but please
I
get to the
remember-
point.
I remember a Dollar Savings Bank, and they no, right there on 140 7th Street in Third Avenue. I remember when I get to kindergarten, Dollar Savings Bank had a program inside the public school system. When it finished up, Apple Bank came up here, and they wanted to reintroduce that into the public school system because there's no need to have check cashing joints running. Check cashing places do not reinvest in the neighborhood. Matter of fact, Banco Popular, they brought out how Banco Popular does all his investing back in Puerto Rico. Okay, cool, got that. Got no doubt about that. Also, they brought out the fact, the New York, yeah, go on for it. He also brought out the fact Nitro, which has the biggest chunk of housing in this particular district, they do not do business personally with banks or have their rent money directed through the banking system. I remember when that mess came up, what they did at that particular time, they had the people pay their rent through the check cashing joint. This way it get nasty. They were filing eviction notice on a number of people. When the people showed that they had paid their rent through the check cashing place, the check cash place had not forwarded the money to Nitro. And when Nitro went to the check cashing joint, the gate was down. You're talking about 5 to 6 months of back rent. This was years ago. Now the rent is paid to some agency in Philadelphia, Nitro, rent. I go to the post office to get a money order. What's going is, this was brought decades ago by how the banks do not invest in the neighborhood they serve. As a matter of fact, they had a big presentation about the lack of banks in this district and why there was a proliferation of check cashing joints. We take the money out and don't put nothing back in there. And this fight is still going on today, based on what you said. As far as assisting people, well, in business, every bank has a manager. All the manager guy do is come down there and assist him himself. But there's no pressure put on the manager to do that because he don't met his quota for the week or whatever it is. No, seriously, every business has a quota. As long as he meets his particular quota, it's enough. Now I'm tired from the food, but now I've seen that mess played out. There's no incentive, I say, to increase services because
The
they be.
incentive is that we give,
I understand where you come from now.
incentive
Well, the solution. Mhm. Well, the solution is, and I had talked to there is a community-based bank on 125th Street. It started in 1933, right across the street from the post office over there between 8th and St. Nicholas Avenue, right on 125th Street. And I talked to them. Oh, I'm not sure about that one. Yes.
I'm sorry.
No,
Curtis,
no, Which one? Sorry for being late.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm so tired,
Mhm.
especially from by myself getting on the bus. Everybody get on the bus. They even have nerve to ask for $1. And I'm like, put my card in, and it seemed to be a regular. Nobody paid for that,
Mhm.
nobody.
No.
But getting back to the bank, you're talking about the bank. Have y'all really noticed all that traffic?
Mhm.
There's more vendors. And
Yeah,
this did not start yesterday. It's been like.
Mhm.
I have left, me and Akeem. And he waiting for one bus, I'm waiting for the other bus. And everybody should not just speak on, you know,
Mhm,
but this was yesterday. So this is nothing new about conservation.
mhm.
I tried not to go there for the simple reason, right? I mean, you can read it inside.
Mhm.
And it brings or something. And you upset me. Cause I had to wait last week about 40 minutes for my granddaughter to pick me up. And I was a visible person. Everybody got up. And nobody said,
That's part of what,
everybody.
Samantha brought up was they did, see, they're trying to tread lightly in terms of these vendors. I guess they don't want trouble with the vendors either. But they don't know what their rights are in terms of demanding these people not be in front and causing trouble.
You should remember that George had over them moved way to the other side. They
What's
couldn't
that?
even be out to,
That was a while
like
ago.
they did on
Yeah.
16th Street.
Yeah, that was. a while ago.
25th Street
Yeah.
too.
Oh, you know. We need to implement that again. Move on. Have a move.
Well, we keep hearing, and I think we've heard recently that now it's sanitation's, purview. So. Go ahead,
The
Clarissa.
process of working with the Third Avenue bid. That's one of Pedro's goals, is to figure out like how to get the illegal vendors off of the street.
Right.
There's a lot of that going on. But I wanted to touch on how communities, how banks pour into communities. And banks directly, like, so branches are different from corporate. And so while the branch directly might not invest, if you go and you talk to a branch manager, there are investments being made from JP Morgan, from Bank of America, and from other banks in the community, right? We know that recently, Chase has committed to Melrose Commons for like billions of dollars. And so like, there are different ways, like, I think we just have to do the research to say like, where are the corporate dollars going in our community? And figuring out like why those corporate dollars are going into the community and into those programs. I know that there are schools that get funding from banks. So there's a lot of programs that they do. I just don't think like the branch directly has that.
So that should be the focus to go more to the corporate.
Right, so
to the branch.
if we're looking to do, if anybody is looking to do something with the banks, it should go through the corporate side of it.
Of course, they can give, they should give our community money. We putting money in this community. These people that are cashing their checks, they have savings in these things.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of you don't give you no big discounts because you have a savings.
You have no discounts.
Thanks. You know,
The money that they give you on your interest
what I'm saying.
is nothing.
So, cause my brother-in-law died, and my co-mom insisted that he didn't have nobody down as beneficiary. So when my family come and got me, I went in and I said to the lady, I want to see the card that you filled out when you came in. But back then they were doing cards. Lo and behold, the other brother's name was on it. So what are you saying? We're gonna hold the money until we went to court to straighten this out? You gotta be so careful with these banks in our neighborhoods. And I know that a lot of people, because they're old or they don't speak the language, they have issues.
And they don't bring it up to them either, because when they go open the account, there should be a conversation to say, if, God forbid, something happened to you, you need to put a beneficiary. And I think on Facebook recently, I sent a share to that. Somebody had posted it, wasn't me, but I
And they know
reposted it
They know
to go to the bank and put somebody else's name, family member's
And
name.
they know it, and they plan on this. Banks ain't acceptable for this either.
Oh,
We dealing with them at Lincoln Hospital or Zoom. We dealing with them right now, we got money in it. And they trying to say, you know, we get ready to exhaust it. But they coming up with 1,001 excuses for over a year why we can't exhaust our account. That's crazy. Okay, the money comes into you from us. This is the problem in this district, and it's been long gone. Because one thing about George, if he saw something that was not correct, walking that street, he would make a note. They kept the streets cleaner. They act like they can't see these streets at night. And they're not creeping and clean. We could use better lighting. They wanna put, more lighting all the way down the road. No, you put one light down there, don't put none up here. We need to do our actions, our actions. It's just as important up here as it is down there. When you come out here at night, anybody come, I don't come out no more. Okay, we have to see what's going on out here. It's not right in this district. And we have council people who everybody's on the money, everybody wants an appointment, they want to appoint their people to this and that.
Well, we have to hold them accountable and, you know, we keep voting in the same people all the time. Yes, for me.
Well, basically dealing with NYCHA, why did people who live there have to pay their rent to Philadelphia? Number one. Number two, when Dollar Savings Bank folded up shop, that stopped educating youngsters how to use the banking system. So that money don't disappear from both angles. And so when you look at what's going on, I would say the money is here, but they're not providing the services for it. And then when I happened to overhear the police commander from the 40 police and talk about how the 40 police is the third largest police in the city, but yet there's 27 methadone clinics in this district. Something is wrong somewhere with that particular equation. Because we're looking, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, when I go use the train station sometimes, well, when I go use the train station sometimes in the morning, a little after 7 a.m., there is a crowd, a bunch out there hanging out, what have you, that particular time in the morning. And you ever have to take a stroll that time in the morning from Lincoln Hospital, all the way over from 149th Street, all the way over to Bergen Avenue. You have you shaking your head and so forth. Because when you go downtown below 96th Street, that type of drama is not out there. It's not play. You might see an occasional person goes up there with a cup in their hand on the sidewalk, something like that. But basically, you don't see that kind of mess down there that you see up here for some. And it's about the policy. That's what it comes down to. Saying the bank have a policy, you're not going to invest. The banks, I went through this mess years ago. The banks have a policy of not investing up here because they had a big fight about why they was closing the banks down on 138th Street and so forth. And people was living down there, and why they got to depend on some check cashing joint for their money. I remember them banks down at 138th Street. And the same thing, they wanted to close the Chase Bank down there on 3rd Avenue, 137th Street at one time. But we said no, they need down there because of the amount of people that live down there. Don't want you to. It's still there. Good. Good. Good.
But, I think I'm a little older than you.
Yeah.
So, yes, we had two banks at one time. The bank was 138th Street.
Mhm.
If you know anything about where you live,
Yeah.
that was first bank. It was,
Dollar Savings.
no, it wasn't.
Dime, we dime.
It was city.
138 Wills?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
After Citibank, Chase. Okay, you're talking about rent and housing and stuff. Now you gotta send your rent money to what? Philly?
Philly.
Okay. May, as of May, you don't send your rent to Philly. So I don't know, you're still in the project.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't send your money to Philly. But you know why? It's like anything else. Years ago, you paid your rent in the rent office.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the rent office,
Mhm.
paid your rent. People that worked in the rent office walked with the money.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had a thing that you had to pay with your check.
Mm-hmm.
Now you send your money to Chase Bank. That's about the fourth bank that housing authority has sent your rent to. And guess what? You know why it's not anymore? Because people like me, I gave them a check for like $2,500 for my granddaughter. 2 years, he couldn't find a check. And it was given to in the manager office. He signed for the check. And of course, we took to a copy of the check and the paper they signed. The IGs, and they just found the check. happened to you, guess what? And everybody was saying, maybe they cashed on this side of the one, they checked the cash. Next day, we gonna get a new commanding officer in the 40th precinct.
Yeah, we have this. We have one.
We're gonna get a new one.
Another one?
Did you get a call?
Yeah.
Okay, I got one.
Yeah.
The one that's been there 5 months is leaving?
Yeah, he got a promotion.
Oh, that Tompkins. I'm thinking of the captain. That's different. There's inspector and then there's captain. Okay, I'm thinking.
Well, Monday, then.
Well, I know I got a call on the 40th precinct. We did too. And, for the Jose we got a call too. And the call is, they want us to come in to interview. Do command.
What day and time?
Larissa,
Did
you
you get a
going?
Nope.
call? All right, then, don't be sure.
Wait. Uh, officer
Yeah,
coming in,
yeah,
you're talking about at the precinct.
but that don't mean he gonna be the same guy. But just that he
You can
can
change
what
it.
it means. No guarantee.
It seems like there's nobody stable in there. I mean, I
That
think.
is, as you know, that is a promotion. Everybody goes in there, it's like a stepping.
Right,
to
it's a
what
stepping
else
stone
you
to
want.
something else. Yeah, it's not like you're gonna be there. And that's hard.
The last,
That
last
makes the
one
thing.
I remember.
She came to the white shirt. So she was she told me she wasn't this.
I met her, and I said, he told me that they only get was it 12 or 15 sector calls in this district. There's only 250 something officers. And I said, well, how is that possible? And this, the most fun, everything going on. So these are some of the things that I want to know. Have we,
Need to be.
have we addressed?
Hold on, guys, hold on. We're getting off topic. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Wood.
So, and that, I don't know if we want to continue to go to the next issue. So the banks we had that was fine with Chase. So we filed Chase, we had TD Bank, and we had Bank of America. So the banks, all banks that we broke two, we're still waiting. To hear back from Citibank, Bank of.
Yeah, TD Bank,
We heard from TD Bank,
you got MC. What is it?
MCU,
Yeah.
we're waiting to hear, and a couple other banks that on the list that are on the corridors. But we are slowly hearing from one, we're being very persistent.
So we've sent 2 rounds of already. Only got spots. So.
They gave the cards. Even so.
I want to just say something about the security. Security work in such a way that if the security service that is being hired, all these businesses, particularly banks, have contractual services that they bring in. But they're supposed to be having direct access to the precinct. And there should be an officer assigned to those stations. That's how that's supposed to work. So I think we have to get behind actually the precinct and find out why isn't there communication going on with the security contract services. Okay, it's also up to the bank to make sure that their security directors are communicating with the law enforcement. That's how that works. There's a big monopoly with that. And I know that sometimes the contractual services to get hired are some of the guards that are getting the lowest pay. Some of those security are getting, I know for a fact, minimum wage, and that's exactly what kind of service they're gonna give. You know, which is actually a big mistake, but you're right, it's gonna be up to us in the community to start asking questions about that and make those kind of demands. Some years ago but this happens again and again, there was a lady came out of Chase Bank, there's a man who's constantly asking people for money, but that goes on a lot, that 149th Street area. But this particular man, I can tell he's perhaps deranged, he's not over there, but we know there's a mental health crisis going on. I think he's homeless because I always see him hanging out in the corners. this particularly, he seems that when a person doesn't give him money, he will get violent with them. And he particularly picks at elderly women. Okay, and I saw what happened some years ago to a particular lady that was walking there, and he smacked her. Okay, she hurried up and ran across the street. There was another youngster that was gonna get involved, said, ma'am, you want me to beat him up for you and everything? I myself got involved, said, no, no, don't do that.
Was the police involved?
The police were about, but we took her to the station, to the train station nearby and got the two cops from over there. And we pointed out the man that smacked that lady when she didn't give money. And the police, the two police, well, we didn't see it happen. So there's really nothing we can do about it. And we really weren't posted there. They were from at the train center, but we took them out and pointed out the man because he was still there, soliciting asking people for money, and the cops didn't do anything about it. Me being the person I am, I did take down their badge, and I did go to the precinct and report them. Okay, me the person who and they didn't know who I was, and they didn't know that I'm a person who happens to be involved with you. And yes, the two cops I understand together. I think they even got suspended, I heard. But this lady was my main point here is this lady was assaulted and nothing was being done about it. And I know that it happens again and again to people. And I know that they're not always gonna bump into Archie with her big mouth, who's gonna go around and know the right way about it. And I know a lot about security and I know a lot about safety. But I know that this is happening again and again, especially. But this man, it seems as if he has his target. He picks directly on elderly women. Okay, demands that they give him money, and when they don't give him money, he gets very
Do you
aggressive.
still see that person around?
I still see him around, and nothing until this day. I want you to know this must have happened a good like 2 or 3 years ago. I want you to know that nothing has been done to deter it, because I see him hanging all over the place. Okay, although he was there's something else going on. The banks have CCTV camera systems posted outside that they can catch people when they're doing things, and security does have access to that. Okay, why isn't I don't, and I access to the precinct. They could have looked at the camera and identified the man. Okay, because they have ways of catching people, and there are plenty of ways that they have of identifying who is doing what when they get ready to. Okay, they were supposed to send the investigative detective to do what he's supposed to do. He was supposed to surveil the camera and go, because the man is still hanging around today. I see that man all around, and he's still assaulting elderly women. And this is just one example I'm giving, but this happens again and again and again. I walked several months ago to the McDonald's on 149th Street. There are a bunch of again.
Well, that's why a lot of the seniors, especially, we are not out on the street. They're losing money from businesses because people don't want to come out. I mean, I dread coming. I come to the board and that's it. Luckily I have the kind of bank account where I could snap a picture of the check and deposit it and stuff like that. But it's not safe. It's not safe. Yes, Clarissa.
And ask, usually when seniors go to the bank, is it to directly take money out of the bank directly, or
Yeah,
is it
bank
to
For
get
me-
checks?
for me, it's to
Or
get
seniors-
cash. For me, it's to get cash.
Seniors are using ATM.
I use the I use the ATM at the bank. At the no. My bank has like inside a little area where there's 5 machines, 5 or 6 machines. I will use that. It's not in the main part of the bank. But at the same time, it depends on the time of day that we go. Like if you go at night, it's a little bit scarier to go in there by yourself. I mean, a couple of times taking the pit bull with
They
us.
need to start having these meetings at night, because it's not safe. Not safe out. People are being bugged out here all the time. It's not safe. You have to be in a lighted area. This is an attack.
Which means still
Any meeting that people are holding at 6, 7 o'clock at night. In the summertime, it stays the lighter longer, but in the winter time, it's too dark to be out there. Any meeting.
Well,
Well, I honestly, I have to, but let me just quickly. some of us work during the day. So it would be hard for me not to come to a meeting if it's not being done.
Ideally,
If you live in the day. Yeah.
and actually, they're even later now. It used to be 5:30, now we moved everything to 6 o'clock to accommodate people that work.
That's why our seniors is at one.
Used to be going home. Still, it's gonna be, that's the only thing people have to come to. But some of them, they have caregivers, but they can't do the leave at a certain time, so they can't come out there with them either.
I want to suggest that we should.
I don't know what the solution is to the problem, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous out here. And these cannabis places, these people don't wanna come out here walking by them. These people are getting high.
What about a buddy system?
But that's what I'm saying, people who have caregivers.
Yeah.
Some of them need by certain things.
No, but let's say I drive. If a meeting is late, I'll drive and I don't mind driving one or two people, but that
That's
help.
something people can work out on.
Yeah,
I know.
well, that's what
I
I'm
know
saying.
that.
You offer.
Because you can't get a taxi down here. There's no
You
bus,
need to come home or to go there.
come home. It was a waste. You can't get a taxi. There's no bus, there's no train. I was stuck waiting on that accessory. See what I'm saying? And then inside the building, you can't always get a signal for your phone. So suppose I was stuck out there and accessory didn't show.
Right.
I will say, I live on the block over close by and cabs are pretty frequent.
It wasn't frequent that night. 'Cause I
But
was
the
sitting
second
outside.
thing I would say, that sounds like an accessoride issue that we're talking about.
Yeah, been trying to get.
It's not an
Talking about,
accessory.
like, they didn't come on time.
It's not an accessory.
But we've also extended being able to, offer taxis.
If you're gonna have a meeting, anyway, you have transportation accessibility.
And
It can't be limited to
we
one.
have trains, buses, and
People have to walk that way.
if there's any,
If
it's
that's
like that,
plan.
just what I mentioned to you before, if there's a problem with transportation, we'll happily offer you a taxi to get you to the meeting. But also, if the meetings are an issue, right, like,
First of all,
that
I don't
one of the
think
things.
people come out there. This is the area that they don't feel safe. And it's not safe to be out there in that dog.
I mean, the community is safe. I think, Ms. Duke, you live in that area. You walked home, right?
Even me, we have here, or Lincoln Hospital, but I leave the motor, walks. Building.
Yeah.
They
But the buddy system, like, you know,
But sidewalk with Cesar.
I like to leave here, somebody come here.
So we have to make sure that happens. Feel safe.
do you feel like we should get someone to walk you? Because I think.
Oh, no, because I ain't coming.
Oh, so that's then that's considering, like, if you want to be a part of the board.
I feel like I'm gonna come, or I don't feel the come. I have to protect myself.
Well, that's what we're saying.
This
You
way,
make
this
you
way.
feel safe.
I'm done. I'm done. That's right. Close to my neighbors.
Accessorized is not always reliable. I know people have a lot of issues. And that now we're talking about the MTA and their transportation, but,
I'm working with it. I'm working with it.
but I wonder, okay.
I'm not trying to be difficult.
I know, but I wonder, can we get a group, look, if a group of us have to get together and walk you home, I will do that first.
I know that.
And make sure you get home safe.
You know, to walk me home. I know people that walk me home over here, but I still feel I'm not the only one. I have a lot of people out here that are in.
Well, maybe we need to make it known.
And
We are available to walk people home or,
Because, you know, at some point,
Groups don't live that far from things. Okay.
oh, you gotta walk.
Equalize. Equalize.
Our meeting,
Equalize. Equalize.
most of the meetings that happen in the community, that happen, they are in the evening.
Yeah, get the whooping.
And so is this something that you want to be a part of, right? As a community board member, can we commit?
On their own.
What's that?
That's something each individual has to think about on their own, right? If it's a requirement and it's something that I want to do or they want to do. They have to think about
I think in thinking about reappointments, this is something that should be conveyed in the reappointment. Were you able to convey that to, in the reappointment?
my reappointment
interview?
is private. I don't care to discuss it.
Right, but these are the things that, like, if you know you
No,
can't, or you're afraid to,
I'm here to commit. That's what a committee is for. Hear what people have to say in the community.
but if you can't commit,
Okay, I didn't tell you I wasn't committed. I said, if I'm not saying I'm okay. My commitment is not about Joe or with Joe. Everybody has a commitment to themselves.
because it is likely
Your
that
first
our
commitment-
meetings will be.
You do whatever you gotta do. You do whatever you got.
I just wanna make sure that you feel that you're safe and you can come, and we can accommodate what you need.
You do whatever.
We just want you to know here, you need us to,
You think of one minute, no, I will be here. I will be here.
yes, I am. Okay, we have to move on, guys. It's already almost 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Moving on, in terms of new business, I still can't appoint a vice chair because we really don't have any community people here, but I'm going to, Stephen is going to give me the woman's name, the president of Whittington Court residents, and I'm going to give her a call. Of the committee, it has to be a community person. Vice chair, we still don't have a vice chair of this committee. So that has to be a community person.
When you get started.
Yeah.
That's the vice.
A public member,
But
it's
that's
in the
Public,
bylaws.
public member,
a public.
public member, not a board member, not a certified board member. So
So they can be the chairperson.
Vice chair.
vice chair, vice chair.
Well, the president of my.
Okay, yeah, she's good.
Yeah, that's the one I'm trying, she never came back. She
No,
only
she
came
didn't
to,
come back.
No.
because Last year just sent the one for the old price.
oh,
You should know it.
Maybe we can move the meeting to one.
No,
Whittington
but,
Court.
yeah.
In fact, I did call.
Maybe we can do that for June for the next meeting.
Yes, you can do that. On Lincoln Court. Mhm.
So we'll reach out to her, we'll do another.
Yeah, we'll reach out to her and set that up, so that everybody.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah, yeah.
Education, we'd like to plan some activities in the senior centers themselves, and maybe we can start with that. Since we have a contact. Her.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. PSA 7 is scheduled to have their meeting tomorrow night over there at the senior center in what is Jackson House is over there down the block from PSA 7. I do know when they used to have a meeting in PSA 7 period, how the officers from there put the attendees in their vans or cars and take them home. That's what they used to do. Now they just have the meetings over there in the central over there and so forth. And I hear them out. I remember how House of Policing got started in 1952 for one reason only.
Can I stop you there?
Good. But it's also yeah. No, I'm looking for a solution though, because 40 precinct can take people home.
They can or
Yeah.
can't?
They can. It's part of, they can take people home when they attend their meetings. Matter of fact, there should be someone here about that particular policy. Because when I attend some council meetings, I know that there is a policy. They work for us. We work for them.
We'll look into that.
Yes.
Right.
And what was the purpose of us?
To try and set up a collaborative projects to work with the seniors in the senior houses during the summer.
That sounds reasonable.
And I'm sure that the youth have a lot more energy. Right, in terms of getting some kind of communication and tech workshops for the seniors, which could also happen in the senior center.
Oh, they do get it.
Yeah.
The
So
Lincoln
those two
Court-
things we would like to get off the ground and maybe
Okay.
institute one or two of them in the summertime, if we can.
Oh, they do have that activity in the senior center, but the thing is, people don't sign up for it. That's what I was told the other day when they had a meeting. That's what one they said that there's no waiting list for them to come there. So, but the room is open for those who need help and computer
Where
technology.
are we talking about?
That right there in Hunter, it's Lincoln Court. They got classes there Monday and Tuesday.
She was telling me that our local library also has
Yeah.
offers classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Classes as well,
But
but you have to s-
Yeah, but there's no
She's
waiting
gonna
list. There's no waiting. Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah. He said, yeah. Mm.
But talk about working with young people in organization, anything, I think you need to get involved. I mean,
Thank you.
I want, you know, I want that. Also, I tell you something else that you involved in. My community too. If you'd have a bigger fan. And the reason I'm letting you know for some reason, the coach, they used to coach with the NBA, Luke Evans,
Oh, you still hear me? Thank you, Mr. Evans.
he passed away.
Oh, hell.
And they renamed mine. I don't tell you, I don't even tell you what the list looked like.
Mm.
It was in the
What's that one of this?
I'm bad for this, because he's gonna be the first one.
When this gonna happen? When this gonna happen too? Because he was my youth counselor at Pastor Center. Yeah, was in elementary school. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna wind this down anyway.
It's so it's on Facebook for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh? Right, if there's no other new business, we will continue to follow up with the banks, get more, responses from the other banks, which we have not. Our next meeting will be our last official meeting,
Well,
and we will, it's for the season, and when Stephen or Mr. Jordan will let us know if we're gonna meet. I'm gonna talk to the young lady, I forgot her name, from Whittington Court. Let's see if we can meet over there and sort of get that started.
go down tomorrow morning, make an arrangement.
It's enough of
You
the,
go down in person tomorrow morning to make an arrangement.
I'm gonna call her first and see, because if you said stuff is happening over there, you know,
You just walk in,
I don't want to.
bring you down
Walk
to
in.
myself.
Yeah, I prefer to talk in person first, then
where's
set up a time.
I'm just asking, where's he at?
Whittington Court, I think that's.
You come for lunch, I'm not participating in nothing.
I tried to.
What you do other than the lunch?
Okay, if there's no other,
We are breaking the summer, when the meeting board is open for activities, and we identify activities that the committee is considering with seniors. So if there are any activities, just in grab bingo night, day, or whatever you want to do, the chair that. So, even though there's no official meetings, you're open and motivating and available to this committee. Have them also, to them before the meeting, it's on, we turn to the point of aging and the long awaiting, this is still, in my opinion, not a complete list, a list of all the senior services and programs that are in the district. I feel there are a lot more.
Yeah.
So please make sure to take a copy of this information that we have so far. Right, that shows us the active of the senior resources and services that are available. we're developing more clear, concise lists of these resources that are in the district, schools, training programs, senior citizens, et cetera. So we'll look out for that, and I think that this committee will work together. That, thank you, Madam Chair.
There's nothing else pressing.
Okay.